Okay, here's all the components of my corner clamping setup, minus the straps. But I want to keep all this stuff in one place, so naturally I'm going to build a box for it. Now, I've got the possibility of setting this up. I've got 8 4-inch screws. Sorry, 16. I've got one over by my table saw blade there. 8 of the 3 and 8 of the 2. And I did this because I thought maybe this would be the most versatile setup. So, but at any rate, what I'm getting at is I want to come up with some kind of a system to store these. You see how nice they sit when they're alternating back and forth. So what I thought I'd do was take a piece of 1/2-inch plywood, rip it down to this width, which is about 4 1/4, put 2 rabbets on either end of it, and that would let these lay flat on the board, like a little tray. Now then, I've got these here, the corner clamping blocks themselves, and this is the way I originally thought I'd put them in the box, the long way. But the more I thought about it, why, you know, they do nest inside one on another perfectly, like that. So do you lay them down, you know, in pairs like this, and then have another set here? Or do you go wide and then have all the stuff back here, the bolts and stuff? So I'm doing this on the fly, and I'm just going to see how these trays work out first. All right, after screwing around a little bit, I finally got my dado stack out and cut these rabbets. Using a dado stack, I get a flat here instead of, you know, alternating triple bevel type blade. Gives you those grooves. So that worked out nice. Now I figured out my width. So basically it's your bolt length plus a 1/2 inch, which takes into account the heads of the bolt. But then you also need a little clearance for what I'm going to do here, which is put on some sides to this box. And in my case, it's about 120 thousandths. So I think that when I get to my other length bolts, I'll just take that measurement, add a 1/2 plus 120, and that should give me what I want here. Now the reason I've got these cut, you can see these rabbets are not that deep, because I want the bolt laying on the flat. Right? So when you put it in there, it just naturally finds a flat, and that keeps it from, that'll keep it from rolling, I think. And then we can stack them like so. All right, here's the progress I've made so far. So this is the bottom for the smaller bolts that'll sit in here. I've still got to make a couple of grooves here for these to sit in, like so. I have to do that on the router table, I think. At any rate, these, I need a way to lift them up out of the box, so I thought, well, I make a divider that would serve as a handle as well. And then I thought, well, now that I've got that sticking up, what am I going to do here? And this is just going to be teeter-tottering on that handle. So I thought I'd use it to my advantage. Basically what I'll do is, once I get done gluing up the box, I'll cut a groove in the bottom. That'll lock it into that handle and also serve, you know, as keeping it from sliding around, basically. But I'll cut this groove a little bit wider than this one right now. It's this is a pretty nice fit. I want that to be able to just kind of drop on there. Took my end cap here, flipped it around because I had this little bevel cut on it, and then made my first cut before I did anything. This is my bottom of that box. Just brought it in here, flushed it up, and now I know that these three pieces are going to be cut to the exact same width as this. So we'll make these three first. Get the fence out of the way here. And I can readjust it and make my other three cuts. Perfect. Now I can take this, use this as my measuring stick to cut my sides. For all four sides. I'm going to cut these just a hair long. Maybe maybe 10 thousandths. That'll just give me a little wiggle room when I go to glue them up. Okay. Here we go. Okay, 2 parts trays done here. Bolt trays, I guess, probably be a better description. So they turned out all right. Now this one will be on the bottom. This one will be on top. I've got to run that groove yet. So I'm going to do that. And let's just take a look and see how things sit in here. Yeah, there's enough there to pick it up. You know, this would be the heaviest one of them all anyway. So that'll be all right. All right, cool. Works out pretty good. So that can slide. The room to pick it up. So because this is 1/2-inch plywood underneath here, I'm not going all the way through it. And these glued sides help maintain some of that integrity as well. But there you go, that looks good. Okay, all the bushings and nuts fit into this smaller style tray, but just needs to be a little bit wider. You can see these things they're just, I don't know, maybe 1/16 of an inch wider to give these a little room. And that'll be nice. And then this is my idea with the washers. Make some kind of a rack to hold them, and then drop them into a little U-channel somewhere. But I'm going to make this third tray first, and then kind of get an idea of how this might lay out inside of a box with the clamps and possibly the straps as well.